All right, welcome everyone. Thanks for spending an hour of your afternoon with us today. So we're here today to talk about CPA Connects, which is Community Partnership on Aging's new technology initiative. And part of the reason why we are pursuing this avenue right now is this pandemic has really shone a light on the digital divide, as they call it. Those that have access to technology and the internet and ordering groceries on Instacart and using Amazon and virtual exercise and all of that, and those that don't have access. So we're trying to bridge the gap and increase knowledge of technology and how to better use the devices you have. So that's kind of the background of why we started this initiative and where we're going with it. So I wanted to introduce to you Alex and Rebecca, which they'll each give a little intro of themselves and who they are and what they're doing. But they are going to be instructing two different curriculums this spring for us. Alex will be teaching a 6-week basic fundamentals, how to use your mobile device. And what mobile device is your smartphone or a tablet. And she'll be doing an Apple track, so your iPhone, iPads, and an Android track, so your Galaxies and tablets and all of that. And that'll be more on how to use your device. And then Rebecca will be teaching an 8-week intermediate curriculum. And there's 2 tracks with hers also, a PC laptop track and a mobile device track. So again, your smartphone, tablet. And that'll be geared towards those that have these devices that have some knowledge of how to use them, but want to know how to better use them. And then I will be scheduling once a month special interest presentations. So that may range from what is the cloud and how do I use it, to resources the library offers, ebooks, the different databases, stuff like that, graphic design. We have a bunch of different ideas, but that's kind of where we're looking this spring. And I will share at the end an outline, which will also be in our March newsletter on this. But I think it would be best if I go ahead and turn it over to Alex, who will start by introducing herself and telling you about the 6-week basics fundamental courses that she is teaching starting in March. So let me go ahead and turn it over to her.
Hi everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Can you all see this? Perfect, great. So like Carolyn said, I will be hosting the Smart Device Fundamentals lessons. It is a 6-week program, and it's really a slower paced track, really seeking to teach you how to use your device in the most basic manner. So to start, my name is Alex Fields. I am a second-year social work intern. I am a master's student at Case Western Reserve University. And last year, another social work intern and I kind of implemented the smartphone basics and advanced training program. So that is my background and experience with technology. So just to go over the curriculum, week 1 will be basic interface. And this will go over button functions, your home screen functions, touch screen gestures, battery and charging, as well as your control center. So regarding button functions, we'll be looking at volume keys, power keys, recent buttons, your home button, and your back button. And for your home screen, we'll be talking about the different multiple screens that you can have on your phone and how to get to the home screen. And then for gestures, we're just going to be talking about tapping, double tapping, dragging, flicking, pinching, and those kind of gestures needed for your touchscreen devices. And for the control center, we'll be going over the very basic information regarding the settings. And then week 2, we're going to focus on Wi-Fi, preloaded basic apps, and email. So we'll be talking about how to connect to Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi safety. And what I mean by basics and preloaded apps are the apps that are already downloaded on your phone. So when you get a new phone, some apps are automatically there, like your calendar, your calculator, your Google Maps, that kind of thing. And then we'll be talking about how to create an email account and how to do basic sending and receiving of emails. Week 3 is really based on chatting and voicemail. So we'll be doing texting. So we'll go over just basic texting and sending and receiving media. And then calling, so just basic calling, and then voicemail, your virtual assistants, which for Androids would be Bixby, and for or Google Assistant, and for Apple products, that's Siri, and it's a very helpful and useful feature on your phone. We'll also be going over general settings such as your sound and notification settings, as well as phone call safety. And then week 4 is more advanced chatting. So advanced texting, meaning sending and receiving, or just sending rather, emojis or video or audio recordings. Advanced calling will be, merging calls and having another call on hold. And we'll be talking about video chatting. So for Apple, that will be it'll be FaceTime oriented, and then for Android, it will be Duo, which is another video chatting app. And then week 5, we'll be going over applications and the store. So whether you have a Apple product or a Samsung product will determine your app store available. So Apple products have this app store here, and then Samsung have Google Play Store. And this is kind of where you're going to be downloading additional apps that you may want. And then we will be going over some of those apps like Amazon and Shop, which is a way to track your packages. And we'll briefly go over Facebook and some other more advanced apps that require downloading from the App Store. And then week 6, we'll be going over browsing and more. So this will be web searching through Google Chrome, Bing, or Safari. And then we'll also be talking about web safety and how to keep your web safe and how to keep your information safe. We'll also be briefly talking about phone updates and how to look out for those. And transferring media, so not sending media, but transferring media physically from your phone to your laptop or another device. And then we are going to be making an account, a Google account. And I'm really hoping that we can take the skills of creating an account and be able to apply that in other areas. So if we made the Google account, I'm hoping that you'll take that knowledge and be able to fill out and create other accounts for other areas, social media, or any other website that you're looking at. And then we will go over password and security at our final lesson. And so does anybody have any questions for me at this point? All right, well, I will go ahead and hand it off to Rebecca.
All right, let me just put the spotlight on Rebecca here. Where am I? All right, you should be good.
Hi, everybody. My name is Rebecca Colors. It's nice to meet you all virtually. And thank you for coming today. We're glad to have you. Let me share my presentation with you. Just a moment. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Rebecca Colors. As I said, I am an Americorps service member. I serve with the Community Connector Corps, which is operated through the Greater Cleveland Neighborhood Centers Association. I work on the iConnect team. We work to provide tech support to seniors, as well as life enrichment programming online. When we're not in COVID life, we do that more in person. But right now, everything that we do is virtual. I'm in my third service year. I've served 2 previous years with the Ohio Reading and Math Corps. I did literacy intervention K through 3rd grade in East Cleveland Public Schools. And most people say to me, I've heard of Americorps, but they don't necessarily know what it is. Americorps is kind of the domestic version of the Peace Corps. It's a network of projects that fill service gaps across all 50 states. There's a couple arms. If you're interested in doing an Americorps service year, there is an Americorps seniors group, and there's also Vista that's available. The CERB Ohio is the sort of governing body over all of the Americorps programs in Ohio. So they sort of administer Community Connector Corps beyond the Greater Cleveland Neighborhood Centers Association. Professionally, my background is predominantly in fitness. I have 2 associate's degrees. I'm still a student. I'm working on my bachelor's, but I have an associate of applied science in sport and exercise studies. I'm a certified group fitness instructor through the American Council on Exercise. I am a certified yoga instructor, a senior fitness specialist, and I have a basic certification in Thai yoga massage. If you are interested, you can see me on the internet on Instagram. My handle is @Rebecca Colors, my name. I do amateur nature photography, and that is a shot, an image that I captured. It's just a little fun thing that I like to do. All right, well, let's talk about the lesson plan for the 8 weeks that I'm going to be doing at an intermediate level. My program will begin mid-March, the week of Monday, March 15th. And as stated, we'll run for 8 weeks on Wednesdays and Thursdays. One day will be the mobile class. That's going to be for smartphones and tablets. And then the other day will be a PC laptop. And it doesn't matter if you have an Apple or an Android devices for my classes, we'll be working together. Um, I really like the way that Wendy sat and phrased what my approach will be. Alex is doing kind of that deep dive and really fundamental, slower pace. And mine's going to be more of a hop, skip, and a jump, is what Wendy said. I like that. So yeah, but the first week I've called a solid foundation, and there's going to be a little bit of overlap in what Alex is doing, and that there's a couple things that she's talking about that I'm going to talk about too, not as in depth as she will be doing, but just to make sure that we're on the same page um, to start the class with. So we'll be exploring terminology and icons that you'll see pretty commonly on your device, going through the settings and control center, talking about connecting to Wi-Fi and or data, and then that sort of care of your devices by restarting and the battery. Also talking about closing tabs and apps. That beginning class is a little more basic, but I just want to make sure that we have the same sort of foundation as we go through the 8 weeks. I do want to mention that the people who want to be involved in our courses are self-selecting where they think they fit. So you're welcome to come to the basics class or the intermediate class as you're able or have desire. You can come to which classes you're interested to come to. You don't have to come to the whole series. You can pick and choose. And you could do both, the basic and the intermediate, if you're interested to do that. Just FYI. So week 2 is going to be about navigating the internet. We're going to talk about your home screen, browsers versus apps. Again, a little overlap with Alex's class in that we're going to talk about Play and Apple Store as well as Microsoft Store. Downloading apps, searching the internet, and search history. The ways to kind of stay safe online, keep private online if you so desire. Week 3 is going to be about communications. Talk to me. This photograph made me laugh. I've often seen groups of people together. Everybody's on their phone, together alone in our digital age. But we'll be talking about syncing your devices together, Bluetooth, your calendar, and not so much in like setting appointments on your calendar, but having your calendar synced with your devices so that you can kind of push things that you set up to appear on your calendar. A virtual assistant that you can talk to on your phone or other device to kind of do work for you. Google Voice as an option for making phone calls, and WhatsApp as another way to communicate with people. Safety first. We need to stay safe online, and there are measures that we can take to do that. I was enchanted of this corgi in his little life vest. So I also, though, thought that these were some solid honorable mentions for dogs in dog vests. But that week, we'll be talking about passwords and security, personal information. A lot of our devices will have an autofill option, so they will automatically put your stuff in, and including and up to bank account information, which can be handy. I certainly do that myself, but we also want to be careful about what gets put out where. So also talking about pop-ups, doing updates, deleting your history, what are cookies, what do cookies do, and PayPal as a way to have a little bit of extra security around online transactions. Does anybody have a favorite dog? No
I like the
takers?
little fluffy one. The little fluffy one with the pink polka dot vest.
The Yorkie, the Yorkshire Terrier. She's adorable. All right, video chat. This, when we did the survey, was one of the main things that people wanted to know about how to do, especially since we've come into COVID time. And Zoom was the big taker on what people wanted to know more about, how to operate it, feel comfortable and confident on Zoom. Alex did a wonderful tutorial series on logging on to Zoom and navigating Zoom. That's you can find that on our YouTube. And so you can go and check out those tutorial videos at your leisure. And we'll also be talking about it again in this class. We're going to talk about some other formats that you can connect with people online. Messenger, which is FaceTime's service, Skype, another internet virtual meeting place, Duo, which is through Google. WhatsApp also has a video chat feature. A lot of those are excuse me, like one-to-one people, but Google Meet is another format like Zoom where you can have multiple people on a call. So talking about all those ways that you can get together virtually with a video screen with one-on-one with another person or with a group. In our 6th week, see you on the internet. Many of you are probably familiar with that symbol in the sand. There is the symbol, the icon for Instagram. And we're going to talk about socials on that 6th week. So we'll go over Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, which isn't exactly a social, but Snapchat and TikTok very briefly. I love this picture. I specifically Google searched Instagram worthy beach photos. There's kind of a notorious thing on IG where what's presented is not exactly real life. This is an actual shot, but there's kind of this like, everything's perfect in my world, which we know isn't always the case, but this is an Instagram worthy shot. Wish you were here, especially on a cold day like today, I think. Okay, week 7, take me there and sharing. So this week we'll cover map apps, frequent places that we go to online. This can be in searching online, and also our frequent places we can set in our map app so that we can have it instantly. I just click, I don't have to type in the address for home. I can just click the little button for home, and then it will populate on my app and tell me how to get there where I am. You can do that with work, etc. Virtual tours. This is a way that you can go somewhere online and kind of see the sites. Kind of a nice way, especially during COVID when we can't actually go places, that we can still kind of have a little virtual visit. And we're also going to talk about sharing images from our device with other people, as well as articles and web pages that we may find of interest that we think someone else would like to see. We're going to talk about how to share those things with them. And then our last week together, we are going to go over entertainment on our devices. So we'll talk about, I love those kids in their little under the sea costumes. We're going to talk about YouTube, which people are probably familiar with, but different gaming options online. And I'm not talking about gaming in a way of like Xbox. I'm more so talking about just playing games on your phone. A lot of people may like to play cards, or Roblox was one that was really big with my kids. But we'll talk about those types of games on your phone. Also connecting with podcasts and music and movie streaming services, a little discussion about what you can get for free versus paying for. And I would like you to please note what I just outlaid. I should have said, but I apologize. That was the lesson plan for mobile devices, phone and tablet. For the PC laptop classes, there's a lot of the same information, but there are some differences, as most of you well know. And so week 3 and 7 will have a slightly different focus for the PC laptop class. In week 3, we'll talk about files and sharing. So we're going to talk about Google Drive, and then creating files and storing things on your device, and then sending, receiving attachments and images, excuse me. In week 7, that's still take me there, but we're going to talk a little bit slightly different in that we're going to add in the Google Tour Builder feature, as well as trip planning apps. We generally think about apps being on our phone, I know, but that to me feels like something, if I'm going to sit down and sort of really build a trip plan for myself, that I'm going to do that on my computer, because I just need a little more ability to type and that sort of a thing, and see it on a bigger screen. So we'll talk about that week. As stated, you can come to one or all or none. You can pick and choose which you're interested in. This is an image from Lake Erie that I took. So yeah, that's it. Let me stop sharing. Does anyone have any questions for me?
What if we have a Mac computer? Will you be
You are
covering?
welcome. Yes. So you're welcome to come to either class, the mobile tablet, the phone tablet, or the PC laptop. And for a Mac computer, you'd be coming to the PC laptop class. This intermediate session that I'm offering, ma'am, in March is not going to be a nitty-gritty how to work your computer. We hope to eventually be offering that type of a service, but we just didn't see a way to do that over the Zoom. And our hope is that once we get the vaccine into more arms and we get a little more latitude, weather, to be able to potentially meet outside, or have people come back inside the community center, that we'll be able to then sort of offer that service of how do I get on my laptop and do essential functions. Am I answering your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I had a question, just kind of organization wise for the 2 sessions. Are you going to make your notes available to us so that we can kind of like put them together in the form of a little booklet that we could use?
Yes, sir. We do have a plan to do that, and we've been, as we're building our lessons, the slide presentations that we're going to use, we intend to send those out to people the week before, so that they will have something visually to look at as well as to write down on.
Great.
And then you'll be able to also access those online.
Yeah, that's terrific. One of the things that I do volunteer for the agency is, when you could visit people in their homes, was over several years to help people with their computers. I'm an old guy, but I've been helping older people. Well, I use computers a lot at work, but it's really nice to be able to learn both PCs and the mobile devices and the differences and similarities. I'm very anxious and very happy that you're providing these courses. But it's really nice if if you have the notes that you can always refer back to them, because if you don't do this for a living necessarily, when people are asking questions, sometimes you can't remember. So, can you hear me all right?
You started to fade off a little bit at the end there. That's when I kind of
Oh,
I
okay.
turned my head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I may not. I normally when I go on Zoom, I test, make sure my microphone set high enough, but I kind of had to rush into the speech. Um, what I was saying is it's nice to have a little built um, notebook of that can help for reference. Sometimes when you get a little older, or you just haven't done some of these things often, you kind of forget. But if you have the notebook, with the notes, it's really nice to be able to refer back, whether you're trying to do things yourself or whether you're trying to instruct someone on, on how to do things. But that's
Yes,
great.
it's a good point. It's really helpful to have a little bit of a written guide. One of and I'm glad you really said that, Mr. Kraus, because I
Art.
wanted to mention, oh, sorry, sorry. Yeah. I didn't want to take the liberty. Um, uh, uh, my hope through my series, really, I hope that we all have a wonderful time and people will find out the various information. But my long overarching goal is to empower people to know how to find something out, even if they don't know how to do it. I feel like that's a skill that I've had to develop myself online, where like I feel like, oh, I remember at times feeling like I don't know how to do that. What do I do? And at this point, I feel very confident that even if I don't know how to do something, I can find out because I know how to look it up. And so that's my hope to foster in people that I'm working with through this series, is to empower people to know that they can figure out what they need to do pretty easily. Google is a wonderful search engine.
And just before, I want to share the outline that I talked about at the beginning, to give you kind of the dates and the times and all of that. So let me share my screen here. And this will be in the newsletter, the March newsletter. I'll email it out to all of you as well. But you should see here, CPA Connects this spring, join the CPA School of Technology. And so what Alex was talking about, the 6-week session you can see here is on Fridays. Apple devices are at 10 a.m. Android is at 2 p.m. So that's kind of the topics that she spoke about. And that 6-week course, the fundamentals are best suited for those that have devices but aren't very comfortable using them yet. That's not to say if you are comfortable, you can't attend. Just like Rebecca was saying, please, look through, and if there's specific topics you're interested in, come to as many or as few as you like. They're completely open. And then the 8-week intermediate that Rebecca was talking about, Wednesdays starting March 17th at 2 p.m. is the PC laptop track. And those are all of the topics that she spoke about. And then Thursdays at 2, starting March 18th, is mobile devices. And those are the topics. And then once a month, I will be scheduling special interest presentations. So February 25th at 4 p.m., I will actually be leading the presentation that day, talking about CPA's plugged-in programming, which you may have heard about. It's been in the newsletter. I started it when the pandemic hit back last March. Crazy. It's coming up on a year already of this pandemic and everything. But anyway, so I'll be talking about what CPA offers virtually. So we offer a lot of exercise classes. We've been videoing our instructors and doing all of that. We've been offering different kinds of programming there. Alex leads a weekly arts and crafts program that we post up on our YouTube channel, and just what all we offer that you might not know about and how to connect with CPA. And then on March 25th, I'll be leading a presentation about your basic graphic design using a program that's web-based called Canva. Just for a little background info on me is my degree's in business and I majored in marketing, and part of marketing, of course, is social media and design and graphic design. So I have experience using Photoshop and InDesign. However, this program Canva is just so much easier. It's very user friendly. Anyone can do it. And so I'm going to show you how you can create things to send out that are visually appealing also. So that's a little bit of that. Right now, let me turn off my screen share here. Right now, all of these presentations will be held on Zoom because of us not being open to the public yet. Our hope is that come summertime, we'll be able to do a little bit more in person. Both Alex and Rebecca, they're on a contract time, so they may not still be here come summer or fall, but this CPA Connects initiative is going to continue, and they are doing a lot of the legwork in getting this baby launched, and we are very thankful to have them. I know a couple of you on this call are, like you said, you're a tech volunteer under normal times going into homes. And so what we hope, and I think Regina, you might be also help people with tech a little bit, maybe not in homes, I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm hoping that, you know, this will give you a little background of what groundwork we're laying for participants, and that they can, you know, join these presentations. You're more than welcome to join these presentations. So you kind of know what's being offered and where the gaps may be with people having individualized questions and all of that as well. So that's a little bit where we're at. Right now, we're very excited to get this thing going. And I think the tech wave is here to stay. So does anyone have any other questions? I can work on unmuting people if you don't know how to unmute.
I just think one thing, when I was, am I on? When I was visiting homes, is my volume loud enough? Okay.
Yes.
When I was visiting homes, now I started in like '08. And so things have changed probably a little bit. Most of the homes that I visited had PCs as opposed to Apple. Now that, again, it may have changed since I think the baby boomers may have kind of gone into the Apple market as opposed to PC, because their kids may have had more influence over them than my kids had on me, because my kids are all Apple. But so it might be interesting to do a survey to see what the need is out there. I don't know how you do that, but it might help direct some of the training that we're doing if we knew what the general population really needed. I was thinking about that. I mean, I got to tell you, in the several years that I did them, and I don't know how many homes I went into, I think 2 had Apple. And I was lucky because one was a lady doctor who was very bright, and she helped me figure out stuff. And together we got her going. But the other one, I really struggled because I didn't know it. I might know it a little better now because things aren't so different. I have some friends that have apples, but the market needs are what we should be able to supply. And it's just a thought I wanted to throw out.
Mhm. We did a survey. I think we ended up with 88 participants that were surveyed about what technology they have, what they currently use it for, what they want to use it for. And that's kind of how Alex and Rebecca
Oh, okay.
planned out their presentations. So we really feel like having both the fundamentals, your basic how to use your device, and then the more intermediate how to use your device more efficiently, and what else can your device do, is a good place to start. And so, and to reiterate what was spoken about earlier, the slide presentations will be made available, and we plan on recording the sessions also and putting them up on our YouTube channel. So they're definitely doing a lot of work to get this off the ground, and it's going to lay really great groundwork, I think, for CPA moving forward with CPA Connects. Any other questions? Let me see if I can.
I just wanted to mention, because I didn't realize when I mentioned it earlier, about the Zoom tutorials, there is a link up in the chat for to go to those Zoom tutorials that Alex made. Just FYI, if anyone has any interest or might know someone else that could use that resource, that link is right there in the chat.
Oh, Trifina wants me to put up the schedule again. I will do that. I'll also be emailing it out. So, but I will put it back up on the screen here too. Let me see if I can get the whole thing in here, but that makes it smaller.
Everyone, today we will learn how to join a meeting via Zoom. So there are 2 different ways that we can.
Someone has Alex's video up.
And that was a preview of Alex's tutorial.
Do you guys see the outline again? Yeah. Okay, cool. But I'll be sending this out so you'll have it. And if you have any questions, feel free. Oh, Alex and Rebecca, do you want to put your emails addresses in the chat, just if people have specific questions? And both Rebecca and Alex are both with CPA on a part-time basis. So if you do reach out and don't hear anything for a few days, don't be too alarmed. They will get back to you. It just might take them a few days. All right. All right, if no one has any other questions, I guess we'll call this meeting, and look for an email from me. If not by the end of the day today on Monday with that outline and links to sign up for the different sessions. All right. All right. Sounds good. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very
Well,
good. Thanks very much.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Happy Valentine's
Thanks,
Day.
everybody. Happy Valentine's.
Oh, happy Valentine's, right? Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Stay warm.
Yes. And safe.